Plant City, Florida. My name is Rooster Roberts with Florida Skin and Bones. I had a lot of people ask me questions when I started barbecue. It was in the year 2003. First on test was in St. Augustine, Florida. And, actually, it was Grant, Florida. My first trophy was 6 months later in St. Augustine, Florida. A singer named Tracy Bird handed me a second place brisket and a third place chicken. After that, I was pretty much broke. Didn't really know about barbecue competitions. I had a spice company. We made barbecue rubs and sauces and spices for a lot of teams for restaurants and stuff. And somebody told me there was a barbecue competition, and I said, heck, let's go try one. So we went over to Grant, Florida. I got a taste of it 6 months later and started winning. And then we developed a spice called Skin and Bones. And we sell it worldwide now. And it's a very, very unique seasoning. Here, like I said, here we have. We went over 90 state championships, 2 world championships, the nationals, and this keeps going and going and going. We've seen America a few times, and we're going to keep going until we can't do it no more. Thank you.
See personnel, let's ring the bell. And raise our glasses to fire and smoke, especially from that from hickory and oak. May our briskets be moist, our ribs be tender, may we recover swiftly from last night's evening bender. May we cook with joy and without rage, and may one of us here be the last son of a bitch on stage.
Yeah. Game on, guys!
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everybody. Thanks, man.
Game on! Do this every morning or every Saturday morning. We're rocking every morning.
Yeah. Sometimes
Dennis, before the jewelry store opens, everybody lines up for a shy every morning before you unlock the door.
Take that off camera.
We're in Plant City, Florida on a beautiful day in November and having a good time. We're originally from Bardwell, Kentucky, and that's kind of where we got started barbecuing on a Sunday afternoon with a bunch of good friends and having a good time. And of course, everybody said there's the best barbecue they ever eat. And of course, free food always is good. And we a barbecue contest come up in Paducah, Kentucky. And so we decided we'd go up and enter it. Went up, I bought some concrete blocks, and we took our grates up there and our firewood and made us a fire, and we cooked barbecue, and we won the contest. And
what year was that?
That was, well, let's see, this was the 18th year of it, so I'm not really, let's see, that was in 1984. So that's how we got started barbecuing. Of course, the worst thing you can do is go to a barbecue contest and win something, and then you're kind of hooked right there. And so we started doing it at that time in our area. The only thing we had to do was Memphis and Mays. And we done those with probably very little success, but we had a good time and really enjoyed it. And when the KCBS started getting popular in the South, we started doing them. We've had our peaks and valleys, but we really enjoyed it.
How many contests a year do you do?
Normally we do 15 to 16 contests a year.
You getting any draws or invites or over the years?
And the draws, you talking about?
Draws or invites to the Invitational?
Yeah. We've done the Invitational in Kansas City, and we've been to the Jack Daniels 4 times. Took the Jack 4 times with our best finish being 3rd place one year. With the 1st place ribs and some other high calls, but I do remember 1st place ribs because I was proud of that. Ribs are my favorite thing to cook, so I was proud of the ribs. And we've had fair success there and really enjoyed it.
Why do you keep cooking?
Mainly because of the people. The people is what keeps us coming back. We some of our best friends are out here on the circuit competing every weekend, and we get to come and hang out with them. And that's the main thing. After 18 years, the cooking part really doesn't excite me that much anymore, but just the people and the friends and that we've met over the years is the main thing that keeps us doing it.
Anything else?
He grew the cucumbers.
I can see what he's talking about, being awesome in a Bloody Mary. That would kick it up a notch.
You know what he does?
You got,
Here, Tony.
you know, you got a nook in that
You don't
one.
like spiders?
I'll go get her. Oh, I like spiders. I'll go look for her.
They're hot. Hey, have you seen? Thanks, Big O. Sorry.
Where's your turnips?
Don't know those.
Over by, down by Rooster.
Okay.
Towards the Tugaboo. There's blue pop-ups.
Holy crap.
Jesus, what's going on in there? There's so many people.
We're doing the turn-ins.
What?
Turn-ins. Competition's go time.
Now, who's your runner? Paul?
Well, Paul can run.
I'd drop him.
He'd be fired real quick.
I went on a liquid diet and working pretty good on the brain cells diet.
Must be chicken waffle.
Yep.
Luckily, they say you got to fill it. And you only use about 10%, so I hope I'm killing the battery.
Leslie, give me the pastry brush. That's not a pastry brush. That's not the pastry brush.
Hey, we need a...
You know, the turn-in was 10 minutes ago.
Was it?
I'm kidding you. That's why I did a squirm a little bit. That's too pretty to take it out and eat, Big O.
Okay, well, my favorite one was my favorite flavored one was number 3 with the little stem, but the best overall to me was number 1, and then my least favorite was number 5. Number 1 was just really good, nice and tender. The sauce was, I don't know, it was just perfect. It just had everything there. And then number 5 didn't seem to have much flavor at all, although the meat was tender enough. It just didn't have much flavor.
My favorite was number 1. I thought it was very flavorful and tender. And the least favorite was number 3. I thought it was just a little bit dry. My particular piece was a little bit dry and not very moist.
My favorite was number 1. It was a very pretty piece of chicken, wonderful flavor, wonderful texture. My least favorite was probably a toss-up between number 3 and number 4. I'll go with number 4. It really had no taste. It kind of tasted like boiled chicken.
My favorite was number 1. Perfect all-around appearance, nice and tender, good chicken flavor. My least favorite was number 3. Unique appearance, but I thought the tenderness wasn't there.
My favorite was number 1. It was well cooked. It was not overly sauced. Most people try to think we're tasting sauce rather than chicken. My least favorite was number 4, although most of them were very dry and seemed to be overcooked.
I don't know, sort of a toss-up for me. I like the layers of flavor in number 1, but I also like number 5. Sample number 3 was, I think, probably undercooked a little bit, but it's very dry.
I'm gonna get you a 9.
Good.
I mean,
It's got great flavor.
it's got great moisture content.
Got 25, brother.
Something just made the sense to start that.
Oh, you finished? Now I'm gonna go.
Yep, go ahead and get them out.
I'm gonna cut the rest of them and then get the pork out once you're done. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not getting as much kick as I
Yeah, not as much of a rub.
Is that better?
Word's only
From
thing.
a cooking standpoint,
He thinks it needs more bam?
He thinks it needs a little bam. Yeah, he thinks it needs a little bam. Huh?
what do you guys think? Maybe not.
No, you're right. A little bam wouldn't hurt.
Tell me when.
It's been here for half
an hour sitting there.
And that's way past when the judges have been eating them. And this is still moist.
That's good. No, we told you that there was so much moisture in the cooker that we pulled the water pan out because it was that much. We actually thought that there was so much that it might have been washing a little bit of the rub off.
These are. That's incredible for half an hour later.
Thank you. Good job, Mr. Paul.
That is money.
All right there,
for online tonight and see you guys taking ribs. I want to know that yet.
You happy with
But
that?
I won't be here to see your score sheets, so.
Okay. Well, I'll scan them when I get home.
Let me just see what your individuals are.
Okay. You good? Yeah. I'm gonna sauce the briskets and put them back in. Okay.
Probably number 4. And my least favorite was number 5. It was very overcooked.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. What's the questions?
My favorites were number 1 and number 4. Number 5 was good, but a little overcooked. Numbers 2 and 3 were pretty overcooked and I think didn't have as much flavor.
Okay. Okay, well, all of the entries looked pretty good in the box. Number 1 was my favorite. It had good flavor, had good texture, and my next favorite would be number 4. Had a real good sauce that blended good with the pork, a little bit overcooked. The other 3 tended to be all overcooked and no flavor. So 1 and 4 are my favorites.
Yeah, all of them looked really good. Number 1 was highly appealing to my eye and tasted great. Number 5 was seriously overcooked. Looked really, really good, but it was seriously overcooked. I enjoyed number 4 as well.
Oh, yeah, with all the crap on it.
And it lost both those in the regular season. Too bad the exhibition against the NAI wasn't.
It's my smoker room.
Maybe it was 47.
You video or picture?
Video.
Oh.
Video.
Excellent.
Check those in just a minute. I'm going to ask for burn ends. Just get them.
You want this?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just start building up the back there. behind here too.
My buddy, I work with the guy across the
I won't move. Push me out of the way. I'm afraid to eat it.
No, you're okay.
Couple more minutes, babe. Let's get the slices in there. Let's get the slices in.
You want to go ahead and grab them burn ends, Nicole?
Right here. Right in here.
Did she hear me?
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
Did they let him out?
They said, hey, is it okay if we turn it in after Thanksgiving? Okay. So he should be going to jail Friday, right?
So I'll let you know. And I'll actually set for Monday because the 14th.
So we're really intrusive, aren't we?
How you feeling about it, man?
I'm liking it. Need a little parsley right up front.
He was done.
You know what he did? I
She got the burn ends?
Nicole, bring him.
Yes, but he was doing that little baseball cap. But what he did was he went to the courts.
You got a hole right there by you.
Yeah. Pulled his court file out. The judge's signature. He actually got. He could have got 45. That's the best. I mean, you think about it. That's oh yeah. It was we charged the state.
Right. Well, you think about it. If I'd have continued progression, how long would you date him for a week?
Even 9 years old. Put 1 year in the middle school. All you do is watch the board. Look at Judge Senator. You can get
I worked out at a gym with no kids club.
Right.
Looks good.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. It was so foolish what he did. And now we do it 10 years.
Come on, where's my other corner?
No questions asked.
Found you. I found you.
He's a sexual predator. You know, where to put this? DC works for the school board. He's dirty too.
Clean it up.
It's good. You want to?
Time was pretty good. I liked number 140. Can't do that. Sorry. I know. I liked number 1 a little overcooked, but it had good flavor and it had a lot of moisture. 2 and 3 were very average. They had a lot of very dry. The 4th one was cut the wrong way, so that hurt their score in that it would not pull and made it dry. And then the last number 5 was had an interesting flavor to it, different kind of a rub and sauce that they put on it, and it was cooked appropriately.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought. Actually, best and worst. I thought number 5 was probably the best one. Flavor-wise, had good smokiness to it, and it was extremely tender. Number 4 was cut with the grain, and it was really tough and didn't really have a good flavor to it.
Okay, I thought number 1 was dry. It did pull apart okay. Number 2, 3, and 4, well, back up 2 and 3, they were about the same. They were dry, no flavor for the tasteness. Number 5 was the best. It pulled apart good, the thickness was good, and they had some flavor.
Number 145 was a good flavor, very tender, had a nice smoky flavor and a nice rub to it. The second one was a very tender, but not a lot of flavor there. The next one was very tender, not much flavor. Next one was good flavor, but not very tender. The last one was good flavor and was very tender.
Number 1 was fairly juicy, and it was probably the better of the 5 I had. The number 2 was fair. Number 3 was okay. Number 4 was cut with the grain, and it was very tough and very chewy. It's not a good way to cut it. And number 5 was really has come in my number 2. It was real good, real juicy.
You're on.
Was cooked just right.
My name is John Swift from Atmore, Alabama. My wife Kathy and I are a barbecue cook team called Wild Bunch Butt Burners. I guess I should start by saying maybe that we got that name from a friend naming us, and he kind of used his own initials for some unknown reason to make us be Wild Bunch, but that's how we got the name. We are far from a wild bunch, certainly anymore. The little bit of history on cooking, I'm an alumni of Auburn University. I'm also the oldest sibling in my family, and that means that when I went off to college, my dad thought I should go on a very limited budget, and I did. So in order to make ends meet, we had to do an awful lot of just cooking up whatever we could find to eat, because we couldn't afford a meal ticket at the boarding house. Might could have afforded it, but it would have cut into some of our other activities.
And those were more important?
Those were more important. I didn't want to really let studying get in the way of my real education. But anyhow, that was, we kind of started with a thrown away cooker that got out of a guy's front yard, and we cooked such delicacies as stew meat, sometimes some potatoes or something with it, all on a charcoal cooker that we'd salvaged. So I've been barbecuing a good while, probably longer than I ought to say. We kind of progressed on, I did, with the cooking part, and Kathy and I got hooked up in the early 1990s. And we peeled around cooking locally for charities and things, tailgating. The cerebral palsy folks in Mobile decided they wanted to have a barbecue contest of their own, and they felt like to do that they needed to have maybe a team that would represent cerebral palsy at events and give them a home base to work out of to solicit people to come to their new event. So they asked us about our old homemade cooker, and would we consider going one weekend and doing that. We looked at one another and said, sure, it sounded like fun. So November of 2001, we took off for Slidell, Louisiana, in our first KCBS event. I had 6 or 7 Mobile people, the cerebral palsy people, along, and they were some help. But we cooked away, and I didn't know anything about a brisket. I asked somebody about how to cook it, and they said, well, you got to cook it 22 hours. And we proceeded to do that. Somehow or another, we weren't dead last. I don't know how, but we did get a call in chicken for 4th place. And we decided after that on the way home there wasn't nothing to this. We just well try it again. And somewhere about 2 years later, we got another call. 2 years and maybe 15 contests. That's got us kind of going in it, and cerebral palsy folks have dropped by the wayside. We still support them and do some things for them and cook their event every year with a pretty good degree of success. But they don't travel with us anymore. But that's now we're up to doing about, I guess the most we've ever done is 26 in a year. This year we'll probably do 22. I haven't counted them up, but we got one more after Plant City that we're doing this weekend in Demopolis, Alabama. we've been pretty fortunate with it. We're not never in the running for team of the year. We did win the chicken team of the year one year, and that was a big milestone. We managed to make it into the Jack Daniels draw 4 or 5 years, and to actually get drawn to cook there 2 years. So that was another to-do thing off our bucket list.
Now wait a minute, you cooked the Jack this year.
We didn't cook in the contest, we cooked for the tent.
Talk about that.
Okay, yeah, we do the, we help with a VIP hospitality tent at the Jack on the years that we don't cook in the event as a team. And it's really a lot more fun than cooking the contest. But I'm afraid we still would have to go cook the contest if we get drawn again.
Feel obligated?
We feel obligated to cook it if they happen to draw our name. That's correct.
Now what are you doing with that knife as you're talking?
I am trimming a Wagyu brisket. Being very careful not to cut through this cut-proof glove that's under that rubber glove. I'd take more chances on it with the glove on than I would without it. But I really don't want to find out how good it works.
Probably wouldn't stop a saw blade anyway, would it?
Doubt it. They make some special chaps for chainsaw use that will stop a chainsaw. It might nick you about more like a bulletproof vest than anything. You might not escape totally unhurt, but you won't lose your leg.
When did you switch to Wagyus?
We have done Wagyus for at least 2 years, if not 2.5 or so. We don't have a sponsor for them, we just have to buy them.
Do you have better success with a Wagyu than you do with an Angus? Or you just feel like you do?
I think we've had better success, and I think there's so many people cooking Wagyus now that if you don't cook them, then you got to be either a better brisket cook than us or have a hell of a lot of luck to be in the running. We won't get a brisket call every time out, but we get more than we don't. And usually if you don't do well in briskets, you don't do well in the contest. The brisket, so whoever does the best in brisket is going to be usually in the running to win the event.
Did you cook butts when you were at Auburn, or ribs when you were at Auburn, or did you pick that up later?
We cooked a few ribs. If we did a butt, it was we did it as country ribs. We never cooked a whole butt that I remember. It was very rare to get a steak. Well, we got a few. We lived on a farm, rented a house from 2 brothers that owned the farm. They'd kill them a cow. They had a 900-acre cattle farm, and they would butcher a beef a couple of times a year and split the meat up. And the brother that lived where the house was that we rented, lived across the street, was not married, so he didn't eat up his whole cow. He was generous enough to give us the less than choice pieces that he didn't want. So we'd get a chuck roast to cook, or sometimes we'd try to cut it up into steaks. We managed to eat them, but it wasn't the best of eating. Then he'd give us a steak every once in a while. Maybe we'd help him to fix a faucet or something around the place. That's the way he'd pay us.
Anything else?
I guess it is. I don't know how much you can do with what I've babbled. I didn't tell you any lies.
Larry's from the winning at the American Royale to Nebraska to Maine. So be interested in the book. Give us a drop on our website, and I'll let you know the information. Oh, you go to floridaskinandbones.com, and you can see the